Sanam. This is our February article, a continuation of the Atma story. Our soul journey continues. Second body, negative protective mind. The planetary influence is Venus. The theme is connection. And the archetype is the lover and the gatherer. Atma's first years of life on Earth allow her to discover the polarity dance of transformation. Her first encounter with this dance is learning how to navigate the negative protective aspect of her mind. This aspect relates to the water element, from where she just emerged. During these first few years, the imprinting from her parents and her environment, it's there, but it's not dominant in her experience of reality. What still influences her experience more is the connection to her own light. She enjoys feeling this infinite pleasure from just being. She experiences the total ease and the rightness of expressing her inner voice, her inner knowing. Yet at times when her parents are anxious, she starts feeling that perhaps she's the reason for their anxiety and that her needs are inconvenient and perhaps unnecessary. On the other hand, many adults love to hold her and be with her, and she knows that this is because of her connection to her light. And she can't help but wonder what caused these adults to disconnect from their own. In her bedroom, there's a mobile of all the planets in our solar system, and her father tells her each night before she goes to sleep how our tiny little selves are a miniature expression of this huge solar system. How our 10 bodies reflect the celestial bodies. How the gravity of the sun holds the whole solar system together. He explains that the magnetism and gravity of our 10th body, the radiant body, is what holds all our bodies together. The first body reflects the light of Mercury, the closest one to the sun. The second body reflects the light of Venus. Even though Atma is still so young, her being remembers the truth of this, and she feels secure in this connection to the cosmos. Her father knows the power of this connection and tells Atma stories about the planets and their influence on us and how we can attune to their gifts. During these first few years, her mental faculties are being formed by her lived experience. Her soul remembers that the purpose for coming into this earthly experience is to live with attachment to her higher self, to create and dream her life, to act on inspiration and divine impulse without fixating on accepted stories of success and achievement. She now recognizes that these stories are the reason which disconnect the adults from their own light. The protective aspect of her mind is so prevalent during this time that she can grasp how the feeling of either connection or disconnection, which she experiences with her caregivers, creates the stories which will define how she relates to all her intimate relationships in the future. She will forget this, and she will have to experience the pain of separation and allow that to draw her back towards the light of her soul's energy, which is neither made of nor defined by these stories. She slowly starts to experience the paralyzing fear of abandonment at times. She senses how her emotions can so easily become commotion and create havoc in her family and herself. When she energizes the story of separation by focusing on it and feeling that it's real, there is more separation from her own inner light and her connection to the cosmos and the divine, and she feels scared, a deep, soul-crushing fear. When her mother observes that Atma is scared, she swaddles her up and holds her close, and tells her stories about brave ones who chose to enjoy an emotional life where they express their opinions, live with balanced feelings, and how they consciously create a way of life which encourages a deep connectedness to self. She tells stories of heroes who lived their dharma, and stories about warriors who live in this world but are not of it. These stories echo her own deep knowing that she can create her dream life when she learns how to use the qualities of the negative mind. She especially loves the stories which talk about how this aspect of her mind can provide protection and how she needs to learn to not become paralyzed by it and instead use this energy to magnetize and pull her intentional life to herself. Atma can feel how her mother's devotion to her dharmic practice converts any commotion into devotion. Her mother is a disciple of her own spiritual discipline and demonstrates many intentional practices which she does every day to navigate the landscape of her mind. She holds Atma close to her heart and she chants, I am, and Atma senses her little I am merging with the universal I am, and the fear of separation lessens. Her mama also puts her in the running stroller and they go out for a run together. She tells her that there is nothing to worry about as long as Atma can be clear on her no's in life and know that this aspect of her mind is her ally and will help her to be clear about what she doesn't want, her no's. Atma notices that her mama will always do something intentional with her, such as practice a 2-breath pranayama, or bathe her in a beautiful warm bath to calm her down when she's feeling scared. Her mama is demonstrating how to not stay in the commotion of life and instead move the energy through the second body. Atma prepares to meet the positive aspect of her mind as her soul journey continues into the expression of her third body. Sat Nam.